Yesterday morning, I was just trying to get some laundry started, and I noticed a puddle out on the balcony. I almost stepped over it, but then the light caught it. So I went inside, grabbed my camera, laid down on the floor, and as I was lying there watching, a cloud passed overhead. Autofocus kept trying to grab the tile, but that wasn't what I was seeing, so I flipped it to manual focus, and all of a sudden, it wasn't a puddle after all. It was light. It was movement, and surely something I would have missed if I'd have been in a hurry. I spent a lot of time in my life in places where I couldn't control things, airports being one of them. Delays, cancellations, lines. I learned one thing from that: control what you can and make the best of what you can't. And Georgia Tato O'Keeffe did exactly that. When most people think about Georgia O'Keeffe, they think about flowers. Maybe desert, maybe some bones against a blue sky, maybe even New York skyscraper. But the more time I spent with her this past week, the more I realized Georgia O'Keeffe spent her entire life narrowing her focus. And in doing that, she found herself. She was born in 1887 in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. She studied at the Art Institute in Chicago, the Students League in New York. It's where she learned how to paint, but something just didn't connect. And in 1912, everything changed. She took a summer class and was introduced to the ideas of a guy named Arthur Wesley Dowell. He literally wrote the book on composition, and he focused his methods around three things, which was line, notan, which was the relationship of light and dark in harmony, and color. This was her turning point. She stopped trying to paint like everybody else and painted the way that she saw. And this just might be a lesson for us. We can study other photographers, the way they shoot, their style, their form, but the moment we start creating from how we see, everything changes. O'Keeffe just didn't paint flowers. She got radically close to them. She once said flowers are so small that people barely notice them. So I'm going to paint them big, where you have to stop, slow down, and really look at them. She eliminated everything that was not essential. She once said something like, by elimination, we get to the meaning of what's real. And just look at her work. One subject, one relationship, one idea, nothing extra. And that applies to photography more than what we might think. We have the choice before we press the shutter to include everything or just include what matters. To move closer, to simplify, eliminate all distractions. Because elimination is not loss, it's clarity. In 1949, after years in New York, after all the critics, personal drama, all the noise from the art world, she went west, to New Mexico, to space, to sky, to bones against blue. She didn't expand her world, she just reduced it. She narrowed her physical world the same way she did her compositions. The most important part of your camera may not be the sensor, how many megapixels, or anything else you got. It might just be the viewfinder. Because when you bring the camera to your eye, something shifts. The world narrows, the edges disappear, and the noise just falls away. You almost stop scanning and start studying. This physical act of bringing the camera to your eye, kind of mirrors what she did decades before. By eliminating distraction, creates attention. She refused to be rushed. She refused to paint for the critics. She refused to defend the interpretations of her work. She once said that flattery and criticism go down the same drain. She painted what she saw, not necessarily what others wanted to see or what they expected to see. And maybe that's the deeper lesson here. We don't need to chase what's fast, trending, or even performing at that time. We don't need to rush our vision. The subject, whether it's a flower petal, a bone, a sky, or a puddle, anything, it's just a doorway. It's a doorway into something much deeper if we just choose to look. It's kind of like seeing the petals and not just the flower, or hearing that drop, not just listening to the rain. She chased the curve of a flower petal or a cloud with a paintbrush. We chase the curve of light against a water puddle or something else with a shutter. Not that different. Maybe the lesson isn't about flowers at all. Maybe it's just narrowing our focus, in our frame, in our work, or maybe just the way we look at the world. Maybe this week, before we go out looking for something new, go back to your old folders, look through some of your photographs, what you might have missed, what you can eliminate, what you can isolate, simplify. Maybe just be surprised what you might find you overlooked the first time if you narrow your focus. This time, Just take a little longer and look a little closer. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Next time you're out with the camera, go chase a curve. And as always, create something real.